Today we are looking at communication as a pillar of successful marriage. We've been talking about pillars of successful marriage. So today is communication. Let's turn our Bibles to Proverbs 16:24. It says, kind words are like honey, sweet to the soul and healthy for the body. That's Proverbs 16:24, New Living Translation. Another translation is, nothing is more appealing than speaking beautiful, life-giving words, for they release sweetness to our souls and inner healing to our spirits. When we look at Proverbs 18 verse 4, the Passion Translation, it says, words of wisdom are like a fresh flowing brook, like deep waters that spring forth from within, bubbling up inside the one with understanding. The Amplified Version, Classic Edition, says, the words of a discreet and wise man are like deep waters, plenteous and difficult to fathom, and the fountains of skillful and godly wisdom is like a gushing stream, sparkling, fresh, pure, and life-giving. Proverbs 18:7, the Passion Translation, say, a fool has a big mouth that only gets him into trouble, and he'll pay the price for what he says. Proverbs 18:13 says, listen before you speak. And Proverbs 18:21 says, your words are so powerful that they will kill or give life, and the talkative person will reap the consequences. James 1:19 says, everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to becoming angry. All these Bible verses we looked at talked about communication. Your words, kind words, being like honey, sweet to the soul and healthy for the body. Because there is nothing more appealing like speaking beautiful, life-giving words, for they release sweetness to our souls and inner healing to our spirits. We looked at words of wisdom are like fresh flowing brook. So our words as an individual and as a married couple should be like what we have just looked at here. Kind words that is like honey, sweet to the soul and bringing health to the body. There should be words that release sweetness to our souls and bring inner healing. There should be words that spring forth from within, bubbling up inside with understanding. They should be plenteous and difficult to fathom. They should be endued with godly wisdom. As a man or a woman in marriage or in a relationship, we should not have a big mouth. We said what we looked at, it's 18 verse 7 says, a fool has a big mouth that only gets him into trouble. We should be discreet. We should know when to speak and when to keep quiet. And then Proverbs 18:13 says, listen before you speak. 21 says, your words are so powerful that they will kill or give life, and the talkative person will reap the consequences. Finally, James 1:17 says, everyone should be quick to listen and slow to speak. What is communication, by the way? Communication is the impacting or exchanging of information by speaking, writing, or using some other medium. It is actually a transmission of information. Communication is fundamental to the existence and survival of humans as well as to an organization. It is a process of creating and sharing ideas, information, views, facts, feeling from one place. And this process of communication involves three elements. You have the sender, the message, and the receiver. What is the importance of communication? It helps in coordination in a relationship. It helps influence working. It helps in decision making. It increases efficiency at home and marriage. It increases cooperation and peace in the home. It boosts the morale of the partners when good communication exists. What is the main purpose of communication? It is the expression of needs and wants to regulate the behavior of another person. It is informational transfer to convey information from one person to the other. It is for social closeness. Types of communication. We have verbal communication in which you listen to understand the meaning. We have written communication in which you read to understand the meaning. And there is a non-verbal communication in which you observe a person and infer meanings. What we do while we speak often says more than the actual words that we use. There is also listening and visual communication. Let's look at the principles of effective communication. George Bernard Shaw says the single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place. Praise Forward said, at the heart of every enduring marriage lies the twin pillars of quality friendship and open communication. Effective communication is communication that actually takes place. If we want to enable another person to really hear and understand us, we need to pay better attention to how we communicate our message. In particular, we need to make sure that the person too feels seen, heard, validated, and understood. The three principles of effective communication are empathy, inquiry, and assertiveness. Empathy is the ability to be aware of and understand other person's feelings, concerns, and thoughts. Because the other person cannot read our minds, we need to make sure that we also communicate this understanding. Inquiry asks us to be genuinely willing to listen with a curious and open mind and non-judgmental attitude. When we practice inquiry, we ask gentle, probing questions to find out more about how the other person is thinking and feeling. Assertiveness is also important that we are open and honest about our own feelings and needs. Assertiveness requires us to be vulnerable with the other person. So effective communication is about understanding the emotions and intentions behind the information, as well as being able to clearly convey a message. You need to also listen in a way that gains the full meaning of what's being said and make the other person feel heard and understood. What are the common barriers to effective communication? You have stress, emotional overwhelm, lack of focus, inconsistent body language, negative body language. So, to be able to enjoy our marriage well, we need to have effective communication skill. So, what does that entail? It entails that we become an engaged listener. It entails that we actually focus time to listen and try to set aside our judgment. It entails that we pay attention to non-verbal signals. The way we look, listen, move, and react to another person tells more. It means that we assert ourselves. Being assertive means expressing our thoughts, feelings, and needs in an open, honest way, while standing up for ourselves and respecting others. It does not mean being hostile, aggressive, and demanding. So, effective communication is very, very important in a relationship. In a healthy marriage, it's more important to be won than to be right or to have it your way. The tiny victory that comes from winning the argument only causes greater separation, which really deprives you of the deeper satisfaction of a marriage relationship. So when I would do a dumb thing and put a wall between us, which even at that time I realized I would do on a regular basis, I will not live with it or let it expand, but will always apologize. I will always say, I'm sorry, and reaffirm my love and commitment to my spouse and work it out. Determined to always do anything in your power not to be perfect, because you know that it was impossible to be perfect, but to keep working on it, to keep trying, to be responsible, to be able to choose your own response to issues, to be able to communicate well, to remove assumptions in relationship. Assumption in relationship kills, because we are assuming, what we might assume might be different from what she is assuming. So you realize that it's not about there will be quarrels, there are bound to be quarrels, but your focus shouldn't be on winning the argument. Your focus should always be on maintaining peace, because maintaining peace is more important than winning arguments in a marriage. So it's always being open to apologize, to listen, to communicate in clear, unambiguous ways, to not put up a negative self or non-verbal cues to your partner. Listen with an open mind. Listen not to pass judgment or to give a quick rejoinder, but listening with the ability to understand your partner better. Knowing that when you communicate more, when you're on the same page, you have peace. There is success in your marriage. You agree, you'll be able to do great things. But when you are not understanding each other, there is a bigger problem. You will not have a successful marriage. Couples that are always bickering, that are always fighting, that are always looking, I must win the battle. I must be the one to win the argument. You see them. There is no peace. There is no peace. It's a words also spread their seeds. Words also reflect the character of the speaker. The words of a man's mouth are deep waters. So there are a lot of things. Wise speech displays skills for living. The mouth of the wise bring forth wisdom that flows from a godly heart. They do not speak without thinking. You say it says, the heart of the wise teaches his mouth, and add learning to his lips. But the fool is not so. He who answers a matter before he hears it, it is folly and shame to him. It is foolish and shameful to answer without listening. The deep waters of fool contain neither wisdom nor concern, so their natural reaction is to spout their folly. Is to pour out their folly. Godly speech comes first from a prepared heart. The heart of the righteous studies how to answer. If you want to enjoy successful marriage, you must study how to answer. You must learn how to listen. He said, the tongue of the wise using knowledge rightly. He also recognizes the true source of knowledge for wise is God himself. For the Lord God gives wisdom. From his mouth comes knowledge and understanding. Goodly speech suits anger. A soft anger turns away wrath. Ariel Forton comments, if in the tumult of passion, when fiery charges are made and grievous provocations are uttered, the tongue can be held in firm restraint and made to give a soft answer, the storm will subside. The angry assailant will retire abashed, and the flaming arrows will be quenched in the buckler of meekness which opposes them. Choice words can heal the wounds of strife and rage. Pleasant words are like a honeycomb, sweetness to the soul and health to the bone. To those bruised by hostility, kind words salve their anguish and restore lost joy. Anxiety in the heart of a man causes depression, but good words make it glad. Wise words are honest. Righteous lips are the delight of kings, and they love him who speak what is right. The prized possession of honesty is appreciated by all. So, you need to speak with wisdom. Candid honesty characterizes righteous speech. The one who speaks rightly pacifies even the anger. He said, from the fruit of his lips, a man is filled with good things, as surely as the work of his hands reward him. A man's stomach will be satisfied from the fruit of his mouth, and from the produce of his lips he shall be filled. Wise voices also rebuke. Flattery may seem enjoyable at the moment, but a timely rebuke is better. He who rebukes a man will find more favor afterwards than he who flatters with the tongue. Open rebuke is better than love, carefully concealed. The one skillful in the use of words possesses the power to evade traps and snares. While the hypocrite mouth destroys, the righteous speaks with knowledge and are rescued. The wise saves many who will be crushed by lies. So from all good and intent, you learning how to use the right words, not using abusive words, learning how to speak, learning how to listen will help you to have a successful marriage.